So the Black Phone 2 is once again directed by Scott Derrickson, who directed the previous movie. And this time it follows a 17-year-old Finn as he struggles with life after his captivity, during which his sister Gwen begins receiving calls in her dreams from the Black Phone and starts seeing disturbing visions that she can't explain. So when the first Black Phone came out, I was very excited for it since it was directed by Scott Derrickson, who I'm a pretty huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of his movies. I grew up with the Exorcism of Emily Rose, and I absolutely love Sinister. Sinister remains to be one of the only movies that truly terrified me as a kid. I love Sinister. Even when I rewatch it now, I'm like, yeah, I understand why that scared me as a kid. I think it's still a pretty terrifying movie. And I remember watching the first Black Phone and being like, I liked it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was pretty enjoyable. And then I just never watched it again. Like it came out 2021. Yeah, I watched it around that time. And I just never watched it again up until a couple weeks ago in preparation for the Black Phone 2. And I gotta say, upon rewatch, I really liked the first Black Phone. Like I liked it much more on rewatch. I think I liked a lot. I liked it. I appreciated it more. I think I don't know why I didn't like it as much when I first watched it years ago, but hey, at least I rewatched it. I like it more now. And so because of that, I had my expectations for the Black Phone 2, it got higher. And I think Black Phone 2, I think it's a solid sequel. I think it's a solid and fun sequel. One of the things that really stood out to me was how they further explored and built upon this sibling dynamic between Finn and Gwen, especially since they didn't really have a lot of scenes together in the first one, because I think they did a great job with their dynamic and seeing these two interact, especially after the events of the first one, and seeing this brother sister duo team up against something they've already faced, but this time they're both put in somewhat the opposite situations, which I'll clarify on later. Um, Really, I just love how much time they put into exploring the aftermath and the effect the events of the first movie had on these characters, particularly Finn. And I think Mason Thames, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Mason Thames did a great job portraying that. I think he did a really good job. Also, growth spurt. What a growth spurt. Puberty hit hard. Like, god damn. Like, wow. Yeah, I thought he did a great job. I bought the emotions that he was bringing into the screen. But what I really love and found surprising about this movie was Madeline McGraw, who plays Gwen, Finn's little sister. Also, growth spurt. Like puberty hits hard in America. Like goddamn. But yeah, she plays Gwen, reprising her role from the first movie, and she did a great job, especially because this is her movie. This is her movie. Like I said a while ago, Gwen and Finn are both put in opposite situations this time around. What I meant by that was because the focus this time really is on Gwen. Where the focus on the first movie was on Finn, this time it's on Gwen. Where the first movie was simple with a supernatural twist, this movie leans heavily into the supernatural aspect, and it explores Gwen's character and her abilities and the dreams that they introduced in the first movie. Where she could see visions in her dreams, and sometimes it's reality. And I really, really loved that. I loved how they explored that aspect, especially because I'm pretty sure this is an original story, right? I'm pretty sure because the first, yeah, I'm pretty sure. As far as I know, it's an original story. So I really loved that. I thought that was pretty unique. I definitely saw and felt the influence of Nightmare on Elm Street all over this movie. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but when you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. There was one particular scene where I was like, what the fuck? Holy shit, that's so cool. And yeah, I really love that. Just in general too, I also felt the influence of old school slasher movies, especially with the setting of this movie, very old school slasher movie. So yeah, I really love that. Um, I think this is a much more ambitious movie than the first. In terms of the scope and story, it's bigger, it's bolder. It's also a much more gory movie. Like, what the fuck? And I think it also somewhat has a scarier vibe to it. Like the dreams and how they looked. I mean, I just love Scott Derrickson and his obsession with 8 millimeter film. It's just it just works, you know. The cinematography too, in general, I thought was gorgeous. The way it captures the landscapes, the setting of this movie. But there was one scene in particular where Mason Thames' character, Finn, yeah, is in the phone booth, and the way the camera was moving, the constant movements, I thought was great. It was kinetic. It filled the scene with so much energy, and I love that. Ethan Hawke once again delivers a terrifyingly manic performance. What did we expect? It's Ethan Hawke. I think one of the best and most underrated actors working today. I think he's great. But like I said, this is a bigger, bolder movie in terms of the story and scope and plot. It's a movie that really takes some big swings. And I appreciate that. I appreciate movies that take risks. I really do. But because this movie has a bigger scope, has a bigger story than the first one, where the first one benefited from its simplicity, this one, because it's a much more complex movie, it definitely gets messy. The script, it's juggling a lot of things, a lot of ideas, and for the most part I was satisfied with how they were handled, but I couldn't help but feel underwhelmed with how certain things were dealt with. At a certain point it felt like they were just rushing to get to the end, and certain things felt certain things got a bit too repetitive for my liking. Also, when it came to the dialogue, there were a couple scenes, probably like two or three, not a lot, but two or three scenes where the dialogue just felt very sloppy and very campy and very awkward to me, and like to the point where it felt like it was in the first draft of the script and they just never took it out. It felt like first draft dialogue. Like genuinely, I was like, huh. But yeah, because this movie does really lean into the supernatural, I couldn't help but feel disappointed with a certain plot line in this movie where I thought it would wrap back around to the main plot, main story, main main story of the movie. It does, but just not in the way I would have wanted it to. I thought I just wasn't satisfied with how it did come back around. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it is, but that's just me. It's my opinion. But at the end of the day, I think this was still a very fun sequel. I still enjoyed the hell out of it. I still had fun. I think it checks most of the boxes of a horror movie sequel, especially because this is an original story. As far as I'm concerned, it is. Because, yeah, the first one is based on the short story. I'm pretty sure this is an original story, as far as I'm concerned. So kudos to them. I thought it was a clever story. I think I appreciate the clever ideas in this movie, and I appreciate the unique aspects. I do. I'm gonna give the Black Phone 2 a B. Definitely check this one out if you like the first one or if you just want to have a bloody good time in the theaters. I watched this with Luis actually, and she really liked it. Hear her thoughts. As a matter of fact,
Nice. I think it's nice. Wait, what do I have to think back?
no, just
I liked it. It's an 8.5 out of 10 for me because I like the story. I did not get to watch Black Phone 1
she didn't. She wasn't able to finish Black Phone One.
because I slept. Pero I still understood Black Phone 2. And then, I liked it, yung part, oh, spoiler. Yung lumilipad-lipad yung girl. That's cool. Looked like she was possessed or something. Pero like the other people, parang didn't get to help them that much. They
Right?
just stood there. But I like the siblings. The glow up though.
Really?
The
Puberty.
glow up. Okay, that's it. 8.5 out of 10.
Thank you so much for watching. And if you liked it, please like, please subscribe so that you don't miss out on the videos so that we can get more views. This is definitely not me begging, but yeah, we do need views. We really do need views. It would really help if you all subscribe. So please subscribe, please like the video, please support, please comment, please continue to support the channel. And if you don't support the channel, what are you doing? Please do, please do. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Speaking of Nirvana, it was good. Yes, the feathers on my
We'll see you in Cubao.
Phoenix.
Ba't nagpe-play pa yung music ka?
Right? It's magic.